What up, Internet? It is I, Herobust. I'm here to give you guys a sound design tutorial and a bunch of sounds, actually. You guys have been asking forever, so let's get it. I'm going to show you guys how to make the basses from Giant Squiddim. So here's the song.
Giant Squiddim.
So that is the sound. Here's what it sounds like as I play it. Just gonna mess around with the pitch bend and mod wheel. Go a little bit lower. So, as you can hear, really interesting sound, a lot of different noises can come out of it. And I'm actually going to be releasing a sample pack, Giant Squiddim bass sample pack, on Splice. It's going to have hundreds of note sustains, growls, loops, all using these like deep C monster type sounds. So definitely check that out if you like these sounds. But for now, let's jump into the sound design. So, one of the most basic ways to create movement in your bass is a bandpass filter. Now you can hear as it swipes up and down, you're getting this swipey EQ response. So my thinking was, I want to have that effect, but create it in a different way. I think often you get new sounds when you take new approaches to sound design, and that's kind of what I'm known for. So I was like, let's try to do that with a vocoder. So here I have a sine wave that's going up and down, right? And I thought, what if I send that into a vocoder as the modulator wave? Instead of a vocal on the other side, I'll put a second synth in there that's sweeping up and down, and I'll get this EQ response. Now you can see how the vocoder visualizes the EQ of this signal. Right? So if I actually put a carrier wave in there, you can hear how I'm getting this crazy EQ response. I'm not EQing at all, I'm just using the modulator and the vocoder. And this way you can affect and modulate each synth totally separately, which creates just tons of possibilities, as opposed to using just a synth on one side and a vocal on the other. So let's dive into the actual Giant Squiddim patch. Let's get it. The meat, the carrier of this sound is a sine wave, believe it or not. Basic analog wavetable, position all the way down. That means sine wave. There's a little bit of distortion on it right now. Here's what it sounds like. Okay. So I'm now going to, we have this bandpass here. As I go up and down, you can see that we're swiping up and down a little bit. There's not a lot of energy other than the low end of a sine wave. So really all this does is remove the low end when we go up. So far pretty easy. I'm going to turn on this next unit. This is distortion. FM distortion tends to have this very like gurgly high end. So we'll hear how that changes the sound. And already you can see what this bandpass is here for. There's a huge difference between having the low end sub frequencies there and not having them there. The next step is this EQ. Just getting rid of some harshness, some of the super low sub, and then after that I have another distortion unit. Not a huge impact. Not a huge impact at all. I'm just trying to add a little extra noise. The idea is with your carrier, you have it very full with tons of noise. And then with your modulator, you use the vocoder to sculpt out frequencies from that noise to give it cool character. So far, really, really simple stuff. Now this is where the magic happens. This is where we go from noise to a squiddim, like a growly underwater deep sea screaming animal or whatever. I'll turn on the EQ and I'll walk you through the modulator, which is the second Thor. We have two oscillators active. One is the square wave, another is the sine wave. That really doesn't matter too much. The actual magic is in how we've programmed our mod wheel. As the mod wheel goes up and down, we're sending it to the pitch of both of these oscillators, not by a couple semitones up and a couple semitones down. I mean, multiple octaves up, multiple octaves down. If you heard this by itself, it would sound stupid. But again, we're just using it to affect the EQ with this vocoder. Now, when I'm about to show you how it looks, you're going to see in the vocoder it's going to be moving from right to left as I move the mod wheel. And the very, very like tentacle-y kind of sounding sounds, that comes from me moving the mod wheel and the pitch bend down so low that you're actually able to discern each individual wavelength of the wave. Now listen, I'll go even lower. Even lower. Right, so it's a very, very cool effect. There's some more stuff down here. Band reject, EQ. This is just to add a little bit of movement, some more distortion here. But the real magic here is this approach, taking two synths, one as the carrier, one as the modulator, and putting it into the same vocoder, and getting a cool EQ response that way. Anyway, I hope this helped. Giant Squiddim basses on Splice. Like I said, hundreds of sounds, loops, note sustains, cool growls. Make whatever you want with it. You guys have been asking forever, so I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you learned and are able to apply this to whatever you use if you don't use Reason. But yeah, Giant Squiddim basses. I'm Herobust. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.